Interestingly enough, as I thought of yesterday, what they said is the researchers examined the effects of a bunch of things: malnutrition, warfare, famine, and they found out that only the threat of famine and viruses, pathogens, pandemics, correlate with the authoritarian governance concept, the idea they're talking about. But of course, it was pandemics to a far more severe degree. A little bit lesser was famine, and then the rest of them were barely even noticeable in regard to creating these things. Now, the reality of realizing that famine and pandemics are the two things that lead to exactly what they're trying to create, and then also realizing that these governments, those are their two go-to tools around the world. Well, guess what else is happening because of COVID-19? Famine of biblical proportions looms over humanity due to COVID-19, according to the UN. So what do you know? In the middle of the situation where people are being told they have to conform, told they have to comply, told that they have to tattletale on their neighbors for safety, of course. Well, guess what? We're in the middle of a pandemic and there's a massive worldwide famine. The two very things that in fact lead to exactly what they're trying to accomplish. But please call me a conspiracy theorist. I love it.
In fact, the Ice Age farmer put out another great video talking about how states in the U.S. are stockpiling food, probably for themselves.
Right, so the article from the Seattle Times goes on to describe how the Washington State Department of Agriculture began to stockpile and prepare back in mid-April. Ladies and gentlemen, that's over 4 months ago. We're only now hearing about this, and moreover, we're certainly not hearing about this from any other place. One more critical piece of intel that we learned from the head of the Washington Department of Agriculture when he did this interview.
Extremely high demand. We're competing with every other state. We're competing in some cases with national organizations that are trying to, feed America.
And there's the key, ladies and gentlemen. We are competing with all the other states. Heck, we're even competing with federal agencies to try and buy up as much food as quickly as we can. We've been doing it for months now, since mid-April. And we did it all secretly, without telling you, so that you couldn't get prepared. In fact, moreover, we told you not to get prepared. We told you that that you should not, really, you should think about it, because you'll be inconveniencing other people if you start stockpiling. We told you you would have bean buyer's remorse if you were so dumb as to go out and buy beans thinking you might need food. Thanks, NPR. Can you believe the duplicitousness of these people that out of one corner of their mouth, they tell you you should be ashamed if you try and take care of your family? Wow. With the other hand, they're out buying up as much food as they can, competing with all the other states. Look at this. They've spent $6.1 million over these last few months on 4,000 pallets of food. And importantly, only a quarter of those have even arrived yet. That's why there's no food there. That's why if you go try and back order stored food, it's not going to come for months now, because all the other states and federal agencies have ordered millions of dollars of it, and it's already on back order even for them. Can you believe this? This is why there are canned food shortages. They told you it was because of you buying too many cans. That's why you can't have your beer now or your cherry Coke. We read these releases. It's because you bought too much canned food. No, it's because they're spending millions of dollars per state to stock all this food up away from you. They've hijacked the supply chain. They're hoovering it up into these warehouses because, as we just read from the Rockefeller Foundation, they want to dismantle the entire food system in America. They want people to depend on these neighborhood nutritional insurance programs. They want you to be on EBT and SNAP benefits and all these things because it makes you dependent on the system.